Hi everyone, it's Andrew from Hobbies Australia, and this week we're going to have a look at something a little bit different on Showisher kits. Probably a brand that I wouldn't normally highlight, certainly not a subject matter that we would discuss, but here we are today and we're going to look at AMT's kit 1273, their rendition of the Star Wars Mandalorian Razor Crest. So today we're going to have a look at this AMT kit. AMT is a brand that's been around for some years. Probably flies a little bit under the radar unless you are into cars, trucks, that type of thing. But I'm really impressed with what AMT have put in this package. So let's have a look at it and let's see what you think. So the first thing we'll do, let's have a look at this box. So the box art was really what jumped out to me with this kit. It was something totally different to what I'd expected and from what I'd seen from AMT kit over the years. So, you know, we look here on the sides, got lots and lots of information, which you don't normally see with the AMT kits. And I'm just spinning this around very quickly. Probably going to give you a really bad case of vertigo, but we'll get close-ups of this later. But nice glossy artwork, good rendition of the subject on the front, the Razor Crest from that TV series Mandalorian. But then we open the box and we can see there that it's absolutely chock-a-block. So when we look at the instructions for this kit, we see there we've got the A5 page, which trifolds out, okay? About 21 odd steps in this kit. So there's not a lot of building steps, and the level of detail that's molded into the plastic I think is really quite good, especially from the brand. Paint call-outs aren't on the instructions. They're actually featured on the box art, and we'll have a look at those in a moment. But if we start having a look at some of the sprues, I think what we'll do is start off with the first one here is the hull. You'll see there is some very nice recessed panel detail. The colouring as a base colour is pretty good. The one problem I think, or the one opportunity that exists here is we can see the casting lines where the plastic has gone into the mould, and as it's tempered down and cooled down, we get to see these little, I guess for want of a better term, tide marks that you see in some colours of plastic, and it's a little bit evident in this model. But in saying that, I think if you wanted to, you could build this out of the box, very straightforward. In most instances, depending on how heavily you want to weather it, a panel line wash, some weathering, and this kit would look awesome on display. As I said, we've got that really nice big display base. The way in which the base fits, there's this plug which goes into the hull for the undercarriage, and then we've got the little mounting piece there for the display stand. So, you know, it's really been well thought out, and it's been very well delivered. You know, the loading ramp there, you can see the parts for the undercarriage, the three parts there. So look, I think all in all, the guys at AMT have done a really nice job with this kit. Have a look at some more sprues moving along, but the other thing that I thought was really cleverly done, and it's not something that you see a lot of, I've got two sets of decals in the kit. So I've got one that is literally factory fresh. So if I wanted to take the time and repaint this whole model and then seal it, put down these nice factory fresh, for want of a better term, decals, seal it up, light weathering, job done. Or alternatively, I could build it out of the box as is, panel wash it probably, get my decals down, seal it, and then weather it using these heavily weathered decals. So that's a really nice touch, and it's not something that you see a lot of in model brands of any type. So I think this is a different approach from AMT, and personally I think it's a really good approach. So, you know, on some of the other sprues that we see here, and we'll get close-ups that are going to be better than these, but you'll see the nice refined detail. These are the engine nacelles, very nicely done. We've got then the engine nozzles. These are very nicely prepared out of the moulds, and I think these are great. One of the things when you read the literature that's on the box, on the instructions, you'll actually note possibly that the people at AMT say that this kit is suitable to put lights into. Now, currently, AMT have not offered a specific light set for this model. But here at Hobbies Australia, we also distribute a brand called Artesania Latina. And during the course of this video, Ryan's going to pop up an image of a generic light set that those people do that are suitable for many, many different sorts of modelling options. They have a flicker globe in it, they have a steady globe in it, so I could put a light set into this with a light in the cockpit, in the cargo hold, and using the flicker globes, I could have those in the back of the engines, giving that pulsating jet effect. And I think that would be very, very effective. And this, as the people at AMT say, is a type of model that lends itself to having a lighting rig installed during construction. Some of the other sprues that we've got here, like we've got the top of the fuselage with the wing root assembly. Again, lots of fine detail in the moulding. You'll start to see there what I was talking about. It's about some of the colour differentiation in the plastic as the plastic in the mould starts to set. We start to get those, I guess, as I refer to it, as a tide mark. A little bit evident, some worse than others, but again, with you know, if you're going to paint this whole thing, you're going to prime it, you're going to paint it, weather it, you know, that sort of thing is just going to disappear straight away. And then, depending, of course, on your own preference, you know, a panel line wash on this and then some heavy weathering would also hide a lot of that. So, if you didn't want to have to go through and paint the whole model, yeah, sure, you will get a very, very acceptable finish straight out of the box. Some of the other sprues there that we can see, the moulded on detail, it's really, really nicely done. There is a little bit of flash, but not much to mention. But again, careful cleanup will fix up so many of those problems. Well, not problems, but opportunities. And then we have a look here at some of the detail, the finer detail. So we've got cockpit, we've got a Mandalorian figure, there's his arms, cockpit seats, harnesses, etc., etc. That's all good. We've got the Razor Crest guns. We've got some of the additional bits and pieces that bolt onto the outside. So yeah, all things being equal, quite a nice kit. There's only about 10 sprues in the whole model. And it's just very, very nicely done. As I said, something that I didn't really expect from the AMT people. It's far and above my expectations. I was very, very impressed with it, and yeah, I think this is a very good job. The transparent parts, you know, they're clear, they're within register, everything looks great there. Maybe a little bit of looks like glass from Deluxe Materials will improve the transparency, especially on the cockpit windows, because that's going to be a focal point on this model. That's where the careful painting of the cockpit panels, etc., will really lift this model, and I think you're going to be able to get a very, very acceptable build from the box with a little bit of work. And I think it's sort of the type of kit that if you want to build it straight out of the box, fantastic, but if you're prepared to go that extra distance with it and lavish some attention on it, I think this is going to be a fantastic model. I'm looking forward actually to seeing this on some judging tables at model shows around the country this year as I get out and about. I'd just like to point out in closing, you know, I was talking about the box art and how it's not what normally I personally and possibly you would not expect from the people at AMT, but this is the box base. This is the actual bottom side of it. Nice glossy artwork, model finished. We can see all the various options there, undercarriage down, ramp down. Some of the close-up details there, we can see the Mandalorian and Grogu in position in the cockpit. We've then got on the side of the box, we've got all the colour call-outs. Now that's different in the fact that, you know, they've used the whole box to share this information, and we'll get some close-ups of this as well. But you're also getting coloured pictures of the finished model. So it's, I guess this is your reference material as well. That's the new AMT Mandalorian Razor Crest, and their kit number is 1273. That product is now out in stores, both retail stores and online. And as always, I would encourage you that if you're going into a model store, is to talk to the people at the counter, ask them if they've got that kit, ask them if you can open it up and have a look at it. And really, I think you're going to be pleasantly surprised by what AMT have put in the box, their whole preparation, their presentation. It's really very, very impressive. So We'll cover off on some more of these types of models moving forward. We'll expand the range of what we look at, not just focusing on military. Don't forget that the people from AMT, NPC, they also do the X-Wing fighter, they do the TIE fighter, the Darth Vader fighter. They do a whole range of the Star Wars model kits, and they are available in stores now. So that's it for this week. Thank you so very much for your time. As always, if you like what we're doing, please hit that like button, that subscribe button. If you've got any comments, queries, questions, please drop them in underneath, and we'll do our very best to respond to you as quickly as we possibly can. So until next time, I'm Andrew from Hobbies Australia. Stay safe, take care, and of course, as always, let's build more kits. Cheers.